At Right Networks, they help accountants move their accounting-based desktop and legacy applications to the cloud, giving you the freedom and flexibility to scale your business, expand into new locations, and deliver an even higher level of service. You know that old desktop app you have, QDB, whatever, QBX, yeah, that's what it's called. QB Desktop. Whatever app you love that's currently on a desktop, you can now get on the web. That's what Right Networks does. Call them at 888-469-5905. That's 888-469-5905. They're ready to help you go on the cloud.
Tell them Ron and Mike sent you. Because today, right here, right now, this is the moment that you will finally say,
I'm growing my accounting practice. And you're going to discover exactly how right here, right now, on the Grow My Accounting Practice podcast.
118.
Ooh, the audio was loud today.
Yeah, Mike, killing me. Welcome, everyone. I'm Ron Saharian, co-founder of Profit First Professionals.
And I'm Mike Michalowicz, the author of Profit First, and the guy controlling the soundboard very poorly today. And you, my friends, you're listening to GMAP. That stands for Grow My Accounting Practice. This show where we teach you step-by-step how to grow your accounting or bookkeeping practice. And we give you an action task right at the end called the GMAP Now task that will help you grow your business in the moment. And we have an insider track tip today that we're going to share with you. And an amazing guest.
Yeah, and that's why we're jacked today. That's why we're a little bit up, because our guest is going to be awesome. And you can find us on iTunes, Stitcher, TuneIn Radio, Google Play, and of course, growmyaccountingpractice.com.
Well, in today's episode, we're going to be discussing what a tax professional, a tax preparer like yourself, can do to monetize clients without doing more work. Believe it or not, you don't have to sell more, you don't have to advertise more, you don't have to do more work. You can monetize your clients. That's right. That's what we're talking about today. But there's a lot more going on. A lot more you got to know about. First, I want you to know that we have started offering free GMAP, let's Grow My Accounting Practice, webinars. I mean, literally totally free. Somebody used to charge for it. Now you can get it for free. Send the text GMAP, G-M-A-P, to 678-506-7543. That's 678-506-7543, and we'll take care of you. Talk about taking care of you, by the way. Cut the music. I want to thank our corporate partners.
Not only do they take care of us, they take care of our membership, and they can take care of you and your customers. So thank you, Funbox.
Oh, my.
Thank you, Nextiva.
Oh, my.
Thank you, Receipt Bank. And, of course, thank you, Right Networks.
Oh, my.
We'll tell you more details about those folks in a little bit, but let's get right into our show, Ron. I'm just looking at our timing. Oh, we're perfectly on time. His name is Michael Rozbruch, and he is a nationally recognized entrepreneur and is the founder of Michael Rozbruch's Tax and Business Solutions Academy and Roz Strategies, an e-learning, coaching, and consulting service company that helps CPAs, attorneys, and enrolled agents build highly profitable practices by showing them how to add tax resolution clients to their firms through proven marketing systems and sales strategies. And Ron, I know you were having a call with Michael, or Roz as you were calling him, and you were just blown away by what his firm is capable of doing and said, we got to get him on our show right away. So we moved heaven and earth to make it happen. Now, if you know Michael's business, that's fantastic. But I bet you don't know these things about him. He went from dead broke, literally $0, Ron, to $23 million in sales for his CPA firm in less than 1 year.
Yep.
0 to $23 million, dude.
I know. I know.
And he started and run 2 multi-million-dollar companies. We want Michael working here. Michael should quit his job and come here. But Michael, instead of doing that, why don't you give us the tips we're looking for? Welcome to our show.
Yes, welcome.
Hey, thank you, Michael. Thank you, Ron. You guys are awesome.
So it blows my mind away that any business can start offering services or generating more revenue without having to do any more work or any advertising. It almost sounds like you're pitching something here that's too good to be true.
I know. It does sound crazy, and that's why I'm glad that you have me on to explain it. Because most CPAs and EAs and tax preparers aren't giving their clients what they really want. I mean, their clients really want to be safe. They want to be protected. They want to know that you, as the tax preparer, the CPA, I mean, you are their most trusted financial advisor. You know all about their intimate financial life. There's no one else in their professional circle that knows more about their life than you do. And they want to know that you've got their back in case their tax identity is stolen, or they're getting notices from the IRS after you file their return, or if they're randomly selected for audit. They want to know you're the guy who's going to handle it. And here's what your clients fear. They fear paying out thousands of dollars in defense and representation costs to get that handled. They fear having to talk or meet with the IRS. I mean, other than public speaking in this country, I mean, the IRS is the biggest fear there is. I used to have people who would hire me who could take out their checkbook, write a check in full, and pay the IRS off. But they hired me to be the mouthpiece. They were just deathly afraid to pick up the phone and speak with or negotiate with the IRS. So your clients they want to know that you're going to take care of them.
And why are people so afraid of the IRS? I'm one of them. I don't want to deal with them. I think they're going to take advantage of me. But that's the mentality of entrepreneurs. Avoid the IRS at all costs. Is that founded in something? Why do people feel that?
Well, number one is the IRS revenue agent or revenue officer you're talking to probably has more authority than the president of the United States. if you think about it, I mean, the IRS is the only creditor on the planet who can, without a court order, go and abscond your paycheck or go in and hijack your bank account. I mean, there's no other creditor on the world who can do that without a court order.
Wow. I didn't realize that. And so that totally makes sense. So I need my accountant protecting me. But that is why, I hire my accountant, is I want to actually reduce my tax consequences. There's no question I want to be safe, but I want to reduce my tax liabilities. Is that why most entrepreneurs hire a tax preparer in the first place?
Well, of course, that's. I think that's one of the big reasons that they hire somebody in the first place. And the second is, as you know, most entrepreneurs are great at the sales part, the marketing part. They're the front. They're the face of the company, but they fall down when it comes to the back office. They fall down when it comes to record keeping, receipts, all the bookkeeping. So they want to know that whoever they hire is got it handled. But one of the things that I was talking about at the top when we started is people, CPAs and EAs and tax preparers can monetize their clients without having to market for new clients, without having to sell anything, without having to do any other incremental work than they're already doing. Because I bet you 70% of your listeners out there right now probably handle those pesky IRS notices for free after they file the client's return, questioning an item on their return, like you put the wrong dependent down, or you transposed a Social Security number, or you left off a 1099 MISC on your return. And tax preparers do it for free for two reasons. Number one, the client thinks it's included in the tax prep fee. That's number one. Mm-hmm. Number two is they're afraid if they bill for it, they're going to lose the client to the big box competitors or the do-it-yourself online services.
Right.
So one of the things I've developed, and by the way, in addition to me having a tax resolution company, I also co-founded a tax audit defense company several years ago that sold nearly 250,000 audit protection plans to consumers. Now, I'm not associated with that company any longer, but through that experience, through that education, I devised a plan that enrolls basically automatically 85 to 96% of the practitioner's clients versus an opt-in plan. Like the plans I sold, those 250,000 plans, those were opt-in plans. And we only saw 10 to 15% of eligible clients take the plan because we invited them to take it. We asked them to take it. We had to sell them to take it. We had to persuade and convince them to take it. Versus on an opt-out plan, they're automatically included in your plan unless they want to bypass the service and bypass the charge. But you get paid for doing all the busy work, handling those notices either way. because if they do opt out, they sign a disclosure agreement form, putting them on notice now that they're going to be charged at the practitioner's hourly prevailing rates. So you're going to get paid if they're not on your plan.
So
if they're in your plan,
go ahead.
you're getting paid from everybody. It's like a risk insurance model, although you can't call it insurance.
Right. So let's get back to what you said earlier on about the IRS notifications. But isn't it the tax preparer's responsibility to minimize the return letters? I mean, isn't that part of the program? So why wouldn't it be included in the tax prep? Any rework that needs to be done?
The IRS last year, Ron, sent out 9.2 million notices to taxpayers after they filed their return. Nearly 60% of them are incorrect.
Oh, so you're saying the IRS made some 60% boo-boos.
Oh, yeah. I mean, when the IRS files notices of federal tax liens against taxpayers, they don't follow their own laws. They don't follow their own rules. 90% of notices of federal tax liens are incorrectly filed because they're not procedurally valid. But forget about consumers not knowing that. Most practitioners don't know that.
So it's not a case of the tax practitioner making a mistake.
No, if the tax practitioner makes a mistake, of course, he's got to make it right. If he makes a mistake, he's got to make it right. And when I say make it right, that's paying the penalties and the interest on behalf of the taxpayer. But the taxpayer still owes the tax.
Right.
Yeah, and I guess the tax preparer can show the proof that they didn't make a mistake. So if it's a tax bill that comes from the IRS and it's an IRS mistake, you can back it with the evidence of all the reports and stuff you submitted to this point, right?
Exactly. And but the point is, most CPAs don't charge for that work.
All right. So now we got to dig into this plan. So we got the groundwork in place. We now know why entrepreneurs hire you as a tax preparer. They want the basic numbers. They want the tax. We understand the opportunity. What's the plan now to actually generate revenue as a CPA or a tax preparer?
Okay, so at the end of the tax season or the beginning of tax season, however you want to see it, at the end of December or early January, the practitioner sends out their tax season letter or year-end package with the engagement letter. Because if they have, as a CPA, you have to have E&O insurance, and the AICPA requires you to send out an engagement letter. So in that engagement letter, there's a sentence or two in there that says, hey, starting this year, you will automatically be enrolled in our worry-free audit protection plan. Please see the enclosures for details. The enclosures are a pre-written 6-page sales letter, if you will, for lack of a better term. You can call it a cover letter, but it's basically a 6-page sales letter and a brochure that explains the plan, gets them excited about the plan, and answers their questions. And it tells them that they will see a line item charge on their tax prep invoice for this new service, which covers them in case they get audited, in case they get any notices from the IRS that you have to respond to, and in case their tax ID is stolen, all for one low annual fee. For example, anywhere between $59.95 all the way up to $129.95. It's like a membership plan that you're enrolling your clients in. You have the basic, the silver, and the gold. Basic is $59, silver is $79, gold is $129. The gold is really for what I call your VIP clients or your pain in the butt clients who are always sucking the time out of you. Whenever they send an email, they want an immediate response. They're always on the phone. They expect appointments right away. They want you to drop everything. Those are the clients you stick in the VIP plan at $129.95 a year.
And it's a year. I mean, it seems so inexpensive.
It is. That's why there's an 85 to 96% take rate. Because, look, the 401k industry in 2006 only saw 47% of eligible employees of employers' plans taking the 401k plan.
Yeah.
In 2006, they came up with an opt-out plan that increased the participation of employees to 90%. Why? Because of behavioral economics. And it's the same thing here. people, if it's good for you, they'll keep it. You know, people don't want to do anything today that's going to save their bacon in the future. They don't want to go into a 401k today and fill out all the paperwork and select the fund they want to go in, even though they know it's great for them because they're saving for the future. But if it's already done for them and the money's coming out of their paycheck every month, they're going to stay in it.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a book by Robert Cialdini called Persuasion, his new book.
Yes, just read the book.
Oh, great book, right? And he talks about this opt-out, the power of it. And they talk about, you can really move people en masse to do something good, leveraging kind of inherent laziness. It's a pain to opt out, and it benefits me and it's cheap. Okay, so I understand this. Now, you said that you could include an ID. It protects you for your audits, not ID.
Yes.
Audit. All right. What do you mean by protect for the audit? Like, if I get an audit, like all the fees associated with an audit are covered, or what did you mean by that audit protection?
Yes, the defense and representation costs are covered. But here, that's a good question you brought up, because everyone's probably wondering, what about if I get the audit from hell? What if I get, right? Exactly. You're not going to do an audit for $79.95.
Yeah.
So in the disclosure agreement, I put in language that, and the practitioner can say whatever hours they want to forego. So in other words, the $79.95 includes audit protection for the first 5 hours or the first 10 hours. After 10 hours are used, then they're billed at the hourly rate.
I see. And do you have a sense, Michael, what percentage of audits are less than 10 hours, for example?
Yes, that's a great point. Well, let me talk about that and why there's really less work for the practitioner. So 2016's IRS's published audit rate in this country is 0.7%. So 1 out of 143 taxpayers are getting selected for exam. Right. There were just over 1 million audits last year. Of the 1 million audits, Mike, 77% were correspondence audits, audits through the mail.
Right.
Audits through the mail take about 60 minutes to do, where you're not going. Yeah, and the IRS has figured out their return on investment on correspondence audits are like 20 times higher than if they go out to the field and audit somebody.
Gotcha. That's clear. Okay. That's powerful. Now, I want to know a little more about the big box shops. You were talking about them earlier, and they are coming in hard. I literally went to the local Walmart to get some supplies, and there was a big box.
Jackson Hewitt.
Oh, I didn't want to say their name, but okay. It was Jackson Hewitt. Had a little curtain up, and they had a little corner spot.
It was awful.
And they're trying to solicit people. Are they serious contenders? Are they really taking a bite out of tax preparers' business, the traditional guys?
I think the online companies are probably taking a bigger bite, but this audit protection plan is a way to lock in your client for life. Because think about it. If somebody takes a plan to cover their 2016 return, they're taking the plan to cover 2017 and 2018. And when they take the plan, you are promising to defend them for as long as that return can be audited. And with the IRS, it's generally 3 years. With the state, it's generally 4 years. So why would a client leave you to go to another preparer if they already feel comfortable and know that they have that audit protection in place with you? So this is a way to competition proof and lock your client in so they don't go anywhere else.
I like that. Now, I want to build on that strategy. So if I charge, let's say I'm doing the gold rate at 129, I think you said was the number. If I do that high-end rate for 129 and I tell the client an audit can be up to 3 years in the past, so this will protect you for 3 years, do I also put contingency saying as long as you're an active client of mine?
Well, the 3 years is – now let me explain that because this gets confusing. The 3 years is, let's say they get a plan for 2016.
Okay.
The IRS has within 3 years to audit them. So they can audit the 2016 period in 2017, in 2018, or 2019. So it only covers that 1 year, but it covers it for as long as it can be audited under the statute.
Okay.
So if they did leave within the first 3 years, you would still be obligated to do what you signed up to do, even if they are not a client of yours currently.
Correct. But
Right.
then you have that built-in language that, if it's going to be more than 5 hours, you get to bill them at their hourly rate.
Okay.
But
I can see
here's
how
the thing.
yeah.
Here's what we're missing. And you can ask all the CPAs and EAs and tax preparers you come in contact with, ask them if they have like an average practice of 300, 1040 clients. When was the last time one of those clients had a full-blown audit? And I bet you the answer was 0 last year and perhaps 0 the year before. The IRS is not auditing people like they used to. Just 5 years ago, the audit rate was over 1%. It's 0.7%. So, but clients want to be protected because they hear it in the news, especially with identity theft, with Equifax that just got hacked. There were 672,000 tax ID cases last year with the IRS. So those folks want to know that your preparer knows how to remedy and restore their tax account, how to get rid of the erroneous penalties and interest based on somebody else absconding with your refund, and to remediate and restore your account, which is very simple, actually.
Yeah, silly me. When we're talking about this, all I'm thinking about is businesses. You're saying this could be applicable to the individual tax preparer. Is that correct?
This is for the tax preparers to offer to their clients.
Right. That's what I mean. Even if they're not a business, but just doing tax returns.
Correct. Because as a tax preparer, if you're part of what's called the annual filing season program, an AFSP, you're regulated by the IRS. So if you signed the return and got paid for that return, you do have limited representation rights before the IRS on that particular return. In other words, you don't have to be a licensed tax person, a CPA, EA, an attorney, to represent that client at the examination level, as long as you signed and got paid for the return. If you're an AFSR, and that's an accreditation by the IRS.
Now, you talked about tax ID theft. Can you give us more details on what that is and what the implications are?
Yeah. So let's say you're a client, you go to your CPA, and your CPA files your return. And then your CPA and you get a letter from the IRS 6 weeks later that says, "We're sorry. It seems that you've already filed a return. This must be a duplicate. So, and we can't issue your refund because we already issued your refund." So somebody got hold of your Social Security number, fabricated a whole bunch of W-2s that showed that there was a lot of withholding, that they were getting a big refund, filed the return, and got the refund before you even knew about it or filed your return. Most of this happens in January and February, early in the season before people file.
Right, because that's the window of opportunity, because the
Correct.
filing hasn't been done yet. Okay.
Correct.
As a CPA, as a tax preparer, what can I do, or what's the service specifically? I mean, how do I protect them? How do I go about delivering the service should that incident happen?
Well, I'm doing a master class on that in a few weeks, actually, the beginning of December. But it takes a long time to restore the account. It takes about 270 days, but it's a very simple, easy process. There are some forms to fill out. When I was in practice, I always told my client to get a police report, and we would file that police report and get that DR number on the forms that the IRS wants you to complete. So there's some paperwork to do. But if you follow the procedure and how to do the paperwork and babysit the case, then it's kind of like an automatic process. And eventually they'll restore the account and you'll get your refund. It's not going to be overnight, but you'll get it back.
And, from what you're saying, particularly with the audits, it's really not that frequent. Yet for clients, I mean, this is a big worry. I every time when tax season comes, I'm like, please don't get me audited. I do not want to be audited. I'm like so fearful of it. So what is driving that fear, even though it's not a frequent reality for the business owner or the individual?
When celebrities get hit with notices of federal tax liens, the media really plays that up. I mean, it's on the front page of Page 6. It's in People magazine. And, there's 4.5 million people that read People magazine. So it's the notoriety of when celebrities get hit with large tax bills. That's part of it. But it's also happening to your neighbors too. They just don't make the news.
Right. Okay. So let's talk about rolling this out. I'm a listener, say to the show, I'm a tax preparer. I'm like, this is genius, right? I don't have to do work because the likelihood of me doing work is so low. It's an opt-out program as opposed to opt-in, so people are signing up. When do I roll this out, Michael? Is this something I can start today? Do I wait till tax season? When's the time to sell this?
The ideal time to start this is with the tax season coming up, the 2017 tax filing season. I mean, I have some people that are doing it right now because they have a lot of people on extension. So they're offering it for the 1015 extension filers. I mean, you can do that too. But I would recommend you roll it out to your entire 1040 clients in December or January. And by the way, this also applies to your corporate clients, the ones you're doing 1120 returns and 1065 returns. And by the way, you can get $249.95 on a corporate return. And the corporate audit rate is 0.4%. It's nearly half that of the individual rate.
Wow.
So I'm also thinking that's a bargain price.
It's a bargain price, especially for a business. I mean, come on, guys.
Right.
If you're a corporation and you're paying your CPA minimum $1,500 for the 1120, probably more, you know, what's another $250? What's another $250 to know that if I get audited or I get any notices, my guy's got it handled. All I got to do is give him $250 now, and I'm done.
Yeah, I mean, it's a no-brainer. And then for the CPA, it's such an infrequency. You multiply 250 times the 1,000 returns you're doing or whatever, that's 25 grand. I mean, or 250 grand. I mean, it's real money.
People are sitting on top of gold mines with their client base right now. If they're not doing this, they're just leaving. And by the way, this is a recurring annual event. This is not just one tax season. This is every tax season going forward.
Yeah, it's purely automatic. Now, getting into the strategy of rolling it out. So now I know the timing. Do it. Tax season's coming up. January 1st, basically, things start kicking off. That's the time. But do I go on a client-by-client basis? Do I give them their return with the bill and say, here's the new program? Do I do it before completing and delivering their returns? Is there some strategy
do you
around
stage
that?
it?
Yeah, the strategy is in December when you sent out your year-end package, there's a tri-panel, 4-color brochure and a 6-page sales letter professionally designed. And by the way, I've tested the copy on this 50 ways to Sunday. What I've come up with converts like a monster, that they know that come April 15th, when you present the bill and the tax return, there's going to be a line item for $79.95 on the tax return. They already know that before they even fill out their tax organizer because you've told them about it in that letter.
Right. I got you. So you advise them well in advance prior to the bill coming.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. And does this work in every single state? Are there certain rules at the state level where you can't do this?
No, you just can't call it insurance. Okay, you can call it whatever. You can call it Michael Rozbruch's Worry-Free Audit Protection Plan or Mike McColowitz's a Peace of Mind or a Client Care Package. You can give it whatever name you want. Just don't call it insurance.
Or Ron Saharian's "Are you effing kidding me?" plan. I mean, I'm just thinking you could have all these different names. I got you. So you can't call it insurance. Have you ever seen something like this backfire? That maybe a CPA goes and they only do this with 3 clients instead of going after all their clients. Is there certain areas where it can go awry?
No, but you bring up a good point. See, what I would do is I would carve out certain clients. Let's say, let's say I do some clients that have $5 to $10 million AGIs. Okay, the audit rate.
I'm sorry. What's an AGI?
Excuse me, adjusted gross income.
Okay.
So, in other words, they're high earners. Let's say they're making $5 million or $10 million. The audit rate for them is really high. Okay,
right.
So I would not offer the plan to them. I carve them out. If they get audited, I know it's going to be 20, 30 hours or more. I want to bill for that. So I would carve them out, and they're not part of it.
So the high risk, you don't offer it to.
Exactly.
Ironically, what an insurance company does, right?
It's the same exact mentality and model.
Gotcha. And I know you've been coaching clients on this. How many folks out there are doing stuff like this right now?
Oh, I mean, quite a bit. We've sold about 100 or so of these packages. I did a soft launch of it a few months ago, and the reception has been overwhelming. Not only that, but of the people who've actually implemented it. I mean, I'm getting emails every other day. Mike, I just did $21,000. I just got $36,000. I can't believe how easy it was to implement. I mean, it is the biggest no-brainer in mankind in the tax space.
Yeah, I love it. And so I know, and at the end of the show, we're going to ask you where people can sign up for your program. It sounds like people can do this on their own, but
Yes.
if they do with you, it sounds like you have the package done. It's a million times faster and easier.
They can do it on their own very easily. I mean, as long as they have the wherewithal. I spent $6,000 with a designer. I spent another $7,000 with a copywriter helping me write the copy. Yeah. I've had another $4,000 in lawyer bills, making sure it passes the smell test, and all of my time. So yeah, you could absolutely do this yourself, but why reinvent the wheel if you have all the documents already?
Oh yeah, you're not kidding. And you've been doing it for a little while. What's your sense for the renewal rate? If someone signs up for that 79 or 129 program, do we have a 93% uptake the next year? Do people stick with the program in general?
You know what? That is a great question. When I sold those other plans at the other company I co-founded, which was an opt-in plan, we had over an 88% year-to-year take rate. I don't know what the take rate is on the opt-out, but I got to think it's got to be in the high 80s or 90s, if not the same.
And if people don't do this, are they at risk for another firm coming in and maybe just offering just the security package, if you will, just the quote-unquote insurance? Meaning maybe you keep them as that could happen, right?
Absolutely, because there are companies out there right now, fairly large companies, that do just that. They market to the consumer where they can buy standalone separate auto protection plans.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So what I'm hearing, Michael, is if you don't do this, it doesn't mean your client won't have access to it. They can get access elsewhere. So that's another consideration. Yeah.
And it's also playing against the big boys. I mean, you're able to provide very similar, better services or similar services.
Exactly. It locks in your client. Competition proofs your practice.
Now, I'm wondering, and I don't know if you have the answer for this, Michael, but I'm wondering if there's similar programs that bookkeepers, non-tax preparers can do. We got a lot of people listening to the show who are bookkeepers and so forth. I consider it what they call a continuity program.
Yes.
Something that recurs. Do you see maybe similar opportunities for continuity in revenue for non-tax preparers?
Yes. I mean, I believe there is. I mean, if you're a bookkeeper, you should also think about not charging by the hour. Look, I hate being in the time and efforts business. I hate being in the trading dollars for hours, because you're capping your income no matter what. Even if you work 45 hours a week and you bill every single one of those hours, even though you're making a good living, you're capped. There's nowhere else to go. So if you're providing bookkeeping services, think about the value you're bringing to the client and what that value is worth to the client, and have a monthly fee or a semi-annual fee or an annual fee, so you don't have to worry. And by the way, who likes to make those dreaded collection calls anyway? Most bookkeepers send invoices out after they do the work. That's crazy. You spend all that time and effort billing and then on the phone collecting while you could be generating leads and speaking to potential clients.
Yeah, no, I agree. And there is a continuity program. I was trying to stage you say, well, of course you could be a profit first advisor.
You can be a profit first advisor. You'd be crazy not to.
Well played. Well played. All right, Michael, we're at almost at the top of the hour for this recording. Wow. So I want to ask you, your program, I'm really blown away. It's so easy. It's so obvious. And it's so easy. It's so cheap to implement. It doesn't cost you much. It's a win for everyone. You have the Done For You program. How can our folks listening get more information on your program, sign up for it, all that stuff?
Okay, so I'm doing an online masterclass on this. I'm doing a 2-hour masterclass where I'm going to demonstrate everything from A to Z. And that's on Thursday, November 9th. I know it's a little ways out. It's Thursday, November 9th. But if they went to, can I give out the registration page?
Yeah, give us everything. And this, by the way, this broadcasts on October 26th. So this is about 2 weeks prior to your your show going live.
Oh, great.
So it's perfect. timing.
Okay, so the registration page is ROZ Strategies, that's with an S, rozstrategies.com /APP/. That's Roz Strategies rozstrategies.com /APP/.
Great.
And tell them you heard about it on GMAP.
Yes.
Yeah, right. I don't know if there's an
Well, we'll
input
talk
box for
about that
but-
later.
Yeah, right. So we can get our $1.99. So when you do that, I know folks listening in right now, you're on your phone. You can do so on your phone.
I'm going to be attending it.
And if you scroll down in the show note, and Ron will be there, but if you scroll down the show notes, you can click the link there too.
Oh,
And
great.
It's a webcast. It's a webcast, right? Or
Yes.
is it a live in person?
It's a live webcast. Yep.
And when I mean I'm going to be there, I'm going to be listening. I'm not going to be participating.
Okay. Now you
You can come
by the way,
out
we're not
to
taking
you can
commi-
come out to Scottsdale, Ron, if you like.
Ooh.
I love Scottsdale. And by the way, I was
Isn't
thinking,
Nextiva out in that area?
yeah, Next Eve is right there.
Right.
Yeah, it's the most beautiful part of Phoenix,
Yes.
in my opinion. And I was just kidding. We don't get a commission. I said $1.99. I was just joking around. Some people are like, "Oh my God, they're making money on this." No, we ain't making squat. We would try. We're not beyond that, but we're not. Michael, it's been a joy listening to you, and thank you for these great insights. I love that
Pleasure.
you gave us tools that people can do on their own, or the shortcuts just work with you. And that's
Yeah,
what I
great
suggest.
stuff.
Thank
Appreciate
you,
it,
guys.
Michael.
Thank you for having me. Appreciate it. Thank you.
All right. Remember to hang on. Thanks.
Take care. All right, so Ron, here's the dealio. We're going to do the summary of what we learned from Michael. We're going to do the insider access today, and I got GMAP Now task first.
So Mike, let's get into our corporate partners here.
Yep.
Tell us a little bit about Funbox, would you?
Yeah, Fundbox is a cash flow accelerator. We've been working with these folks now for years. Here's the deal. Your clients have invoices due to them, but cash is what matters. I don't care what it says on the accrual system. I need to know on the cash system, right?
Right.
If they need that money and they have invoices due, Fundbox will release 100%. That's 100% of that invoice due to them on the spot. Usually within 24 hours they're funded. And here's the deal. If they return those funds, I think it's within 25 days, there's no interest rate applied. There's a small service fee, but there's no interest rate. And it's a great way to address short-term cash flow issues. That's what they are, Fundbox.
And don't forget about Receipt Bank.
Receipt Bank, they do so much in bringing efficiency to any business. The big mainstay of it is they're a receipt scanning system, hence the name Receipt Bank. Any receipts you get, scan them in. No more shoebox of receipts from your clients handed over to you. They just scan it in with one snap of the thumb. It syncs up with QBO, Xero, FreshBooks, probably MyWab, all those things. That's mind your own business. All these different things automatically. That's what it does.
Yep. And who do you use to reach out to our partners?
Nextiva, voice over IP phone system. Right now on 10/26, we just wrapped up NextCon. That's their annual event.
Yeah.
Over,
You're saying it was awesome.
Yeah, over 1,000 plus people there. Nextiva is a voice over IP phone system, exceptional quality, exceptionally convenient price or affordable price, high-end phone system. It's the one we've been using since the life of our company and well before. Definitely recommend them. And then last but not least is Right Networks. They take traditional desktop accounting packages or any kind of traditional desktop software.
Legacy applications.
Legacy apps. Put them on the web. So now you and your clients are working together. So check out all our sponsors. And when you do call them or reach out to them, thank them for supporting the show. They're the ones who make this show a reality. So we appreciate them tremendously. All right, Ron, why don't we start with you? What did you learn today?
CPAs, EAs, tax preparers, they're sitting on a gold mine and an opportunity here to really provide the security and the protection that the business owners truly want. I mean, this is such a great opportunity for everybody listening here to implement. It's a way for our audience members to provide more additional value.
Love it. My big thing was the level of fear, and this is actually going to turn into part of the GMAP Now task actually speaks to this, but the amount of fear that your clients have. I mean, think about it. I am terrified of an IRS audit. Never had one. Hope I never will, but it's definitely.
Oh, I hope you never will either.
It's definitely a trigger. What do your clients fear most is a massive indicator of opportunity.
Right.
Because our goal, as Michael said in the open, is to make people feel safe.
Right.
Okay, so that was
Awesome.
my big takeaway.
Awesome.
All right, Obi-Ron, you had you had some stuff, insider access, you wanted to share. You had built that big list of yours. What's the thing you want to talk about today?
I want to talk about empowerment and
Yes.
how we empower our team here to create and to add to the culture. And we call it initiative-based management versus task management.
Okay.
Okay. A lot of firms are simply tasking their employees with doing things versus getting their buy-in for and seeking ownership of a particular initiative.
Yep.
Okay. So over here for an example is, we wanted to be charitable.
Right.
Okay. So we came up with some ideas. Right. Well, we had a little session. Okay. Who's the owner?
Yep.
Great. And how we discuss it with them? Great. What are you looking to accomplish?
Yep.
What do you need from me?
Yep.
When are you going to get it done?
Yep.
And what obstacles might you face?
Yep.
Okay.
And how are you going to ensure the outcome? You
Yep.
know, what was interesting is what you're just teaching us is everything is question based. Instead of telling your employee, that's when you're task rabbiting. Do this, do that. When you're saying how, when, where, all those journalist questions, you're empowering them.
Right.
And I think you're speaking about the Habitat for Humanity project.
Yes.
We said we want to do something charitable. We said, does anyone want to step up and do it? Kelsey raised her hand like within seconds. And you said, well, what do you want to do? Habitat for Humanity. You said, how are you going to get it done? She's like, well, I'm going to call them. I'm going to investigate different homes. When are you going to like all those questions you just shared, you went through. And it was, first of all, no weight on your or my shoulder. I didn't do anything.
No.
You and I were just told to
We
show
showed up.
Show up. And then the project went seamlessly. And she felt empowered, meaning she felt ownership over this and came back as a stronger employee. She's more excited about the organization than ever before.
Right.
That's the power.
And it takes some time. I mean, often you may hear, well, what do I do? How do I do it?
Yeah.
And the simple response is, well, what would you do?
Yeah.
And then they're going to say, well, I don't know. And then what do you say? Well, what would you do if you did know?
Right. So you keep on throwing the questions back to them. You're expanding their mind. Yeah. Beautiful.
Awesome.
I love that.
Initiative-based management versus task management.
Love it.
Oh, and now you're going to give it to us, Mikey.
God, I didn't even see this one coming.
Getting jacked.
I'm getting jacked
Getting
up with
jacked
Eric.
up.
Yeah!
How does this song not get you fired up?
I know every station should start every
Morning.
radio morning.
Every morning.
Every morning. Every station, especially the classical station. Like you're listening to Baroque music on WWRFM with I mean, it would just get people checked. And I can't tell you, Ron, I travel constantly. And I was just looking at my calendar. Dude, I have 20 more speaking engagements still this year.
No way.
I swear to God.
Oh.
I just counted. I was like, holy crap. 10 of those are in India. So in December, I'm doing a tour of India, but there's 10 more on top of that in the
It's
US.
exciting.
Yeah, it's totally
I
exciting.
mean, Profit for Professional is exploding all over the world.
It's exploding. I can't tell you how many people come up to me and I'll walk by and they go, gak, 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 gak. And I'm like, oh, you're a GMAT listener. Like, yeah. So for the one or two people that can't stand it, I'm sorry for you because a lot of people love it. Here's the GMAP Now task. The idea of this is the one task that if you do it, it will have an immediate impact on your business. Here's the concept. Michael laid it out for you. The opportunity for income is in insurance. Listen, there's a reason there's warranties. You go on Amazon, you buy some electronic piece, like, oh, another $15 for the electronic warranty. They are making a killing on that because the vast majority of equipment doesn't break. So 15 times the thousands of people buy it, they make $15,000. 10 of them break. It costs them $100. They come out extraordinarily ahead. We all have the opportunity to insure. So here's your GMAP Now task. List 5 things in your industry as a CPA or bookkeeper that your clients are afraid of, right? They're pain points. Then ask yourself, how do I provide insurance for it? Maybe even some of them you can't, but maybe 1 or 2 you'll find is just like what Mike has to suggest, and you can charge a low price and make a massive degree of income for your business.
Wow. Boom.
Insure 'em. All right. It's getting,
Wow.
I don't know what that little. There's
Yeah, a little.
static.
Yeah. It's not the reverb that we usually like.
No,
Well, wow, what a great episode, and thank you, Michael, for sharing all those wonderful information. And thank you, listeners. You can join. Thank you for joining us today. You can review us on Stitcher, iTunes, Google Play, TuneIn Radio. Of course, we would love to get your 5-star ratings, but your feedback is what's important.
Yeah. We better earn that 5-star. Gosh, we want it.
Yeah.
Spread the word, too. We need the word getting out on this show. We want more listeners just like you. And
But do
here's-
you want it?
What-
do
yeah,
you want it,
do you
listener?
want it?
Do you
Yeah.
want to keep doing the same thing over and over and not enjoying life? Well, we have a solution for you.
Yeah.
And that's called becoming a certified profit first professional.
No question about it. I mean, listen, I was kind of riffing with Michael, and just kidding around. But there are multiple ways to create continuity. Now, the concept of continuity is recurring, predictable revenue. We have hundreds of members now. And what they do is they sell profit first services, which includes a continuity component where you tell your client you're going to go through quarterly audits is what we
Yep.
do to ensure their profitability. But the best part is this. Those meetings start off with a profit distribution because you're teaching the client how to be profitable. You start off with a profit celebration. Listen, we have all these different methods to bring continuity to your business by making your clients profitable. We want to explain it to you. How do you learn about it? Go to profitfirstprofessionals.com, click on Become, connect with one of us, and we'll explain how you can bring continuity to your business. As an end result, your clients are more profitable, and so are you.
And think about your year-end meeting with your customers is not only a year-end review, a profit distribution, but a 2018 profit planning strategy.
That's it. All right, do it now. Profitfirstprofessionals.com.
See ya.